Hey everybody, we're going to talk about visionaries, managers, and workers today. These are the three classifications. Any organization, this model will work for you. And guess what? Crazy enough, it's based on the Bible. Ready? Here we go. Let's go. So the visionary, I want you to see the visionary as God. The Bible says that God spoke the world into existence, right? He had vision for it, what the animals were going to be, what the land was going to look like, what the water was going to look like. He had a whole vision, right, for the earth and for the solar system, right? And that may be you. You're a visionary. I see things. I see systems, structures, organizations. If you are an individual that has a lot of ideas and concepts, you're a visionary, right? I see things, like I see solutions. That may be you. You're a visionary, right? Now, the second classification is a manager. All visionaries are not managers. So in the Bible, Adam was the manager. Remember, God delegates dominion to Adam to manage and tend to the garden, name the animals, subdue, have dominion in the earth. Right? So that's delegated authority. You have visionary authority, managers have delegated authority. So if you are one that I don't have vision for a lot of systems and organization, but if you attach me to one, I can set order to it. You're a manager. Right? So managers and administrators, that's where you exist. So all managers may not be completely administrative. You may need someone that can kind of put stuff down for you to partner with you, but that's that second level, managers and administrators. You are there under delegated authority to set order to a thing so that it can go. Everybody knows their name, everybody knows their role, everybody knows. So here's the other thing for a manager. You can take skills and abilities and apply it to a vision to make the whole vision go forward. That's what a manager does at that level. You place people appropriately. A lot of times visionaries can't do that. Now, sometimes visionaries are managers. They can do both. Usually, they probably can't. Usually, sometimes visionaries need to delegate management to somebody else eventually. It may not be that way when you first start, but if you have an idea about how a vision can go forward logistically from an operational standpoint, marketing standpoint, from an accounting standpoint, that's that second level right there. Right? You're a manager or an administrator. All right. Now, thirdly, you have workers. So workers are individuals that, look, I don't have a vision for any organization, anything like that. I don't see anything. I don't see solutions to anything. I really don't want to be over anybody. But if you give my hands something to do, I can do it. Like, that's where you thrive. Like, I just like to put my hands to something, put my head down in it, and I'm going to complete this task. Every day, I look to be tasked with something, or every month, give me a task, I'll knock it out. Right? You're a worker. So you have visionaries, you have managers and administrators, and you have workers. It's nothing wrong with being at one of those three levels. It just speaks to how you're wired, how God created you, right? Where you thrive. And so a lot of times we try to make great workers managers, and that's not necessarily the same thing. Sometimes they can matriculate up, right? But sometimes we try to force a great worker to be a manager, and it doesn't work out. Or sometimes we try to make a manager a visionary, or a manager starts feeling like I can be a visionary, and it doesn't necessarily work out. Hey, it comes the other way. Sometimes visionaries try to be managers, and they mess the whole thing up. they will ruin the organization, right? And then sometimes managers try to be workers, and that's not your gift. Like, even if that's what you used to do, and you get into that, my day, I used to do this, that's not your gift anymore. That's not where you're called to work in this season. So being secure in an organization and knowing what your role is and knowing what your identity is and your purpose is essential to the success of the whole thing coming together. So as a visionary, you cannot be insecure about releasing management to somebody else so that they can take the gifts and cultivate them and place them appropriately. And so visionary should speak more with manager than they do with worker, right? Because when worker is speaking to visionary instead of visionary speaking to manager, it can cause a division within any organization. So visionaries speak to managers, managers speak to workers. And so what it becomes a smooth flow of organization, of communication. It doesn't mean that anybody's better than anybody or superior to anybody, but what it does, it creates a smooth flow throughout the organization. Everybody knows where they are. This is how I operate. This is the capacity and the boundaries within I operate. I don't have to worry about anybody stepping on top of each other or whatever the case may be. Visionary backs what manager is doing. Manager backs what worker is doing. Right? And so it cultivates a smooth, efficient organization. So knowing where you are in those 3 steps, in those 3 areas, is a huge part of your fulfillment in life. Right? Do you know who you are? Are you a visionary? Are you a manager, administrator? Are you a worker? And so here's the thing, in this season of the earth, knowing where you are is really crucial to your happiness. Because if you're not a visionary, you should be connecting to one. If you're not a manager, you should be connecting to one. Right? Because on an island, none of these 3 levels are successful. Like, you won't do well. You can't exist on an island. It is a symbiotic relationship in every organization that you got to have. Now, each one of those can be segmented. So you have levels of management, you have levels of worker. Like within workers, you may have supervisors or shift leaders or things of that nature, depending on the identity of the organization. So it's important, but this is the 3 main classifications that every organization is going to thrive on. So I'm curious, leave in the comments, who are you? Are you a visionary? Are you a manager, administrator? Or are you a worker? We'll see you next time.
Feeling overwhelmed by the vision God has placed in your heart? The dreams He's given you may feel impossible, but they are divine seeds waiting to grow. Launch. The new 21-day devotional by C. Christopher Scott provides 21 keys to activating your God-given vision. This book is your guide to go from dreaming to doing, helping you conquer fear, doubt, and overthinking. Whether it's starting a business, writing a book, or launching a ministry, this journey will inspire bold steps of faith. Someone is waiting for what only you can offer. Available now at Amazon.com in Kindle and paperback. Get your copy today and launch the vision God has placed within you.